didn't have many friends, I might not have had any friends. But it all turned out good in the end, because when you aren't popular and you don't have a social life, it gives you more time to focus on your future. Part of the reason I sort of shot out like a cannon out of Michigan and left home at such an early age is because I had to feel independent. I guess some people are brilliant enough to be brilliant on their own and never doubt anything and come up with fabulous things. But I think it's good to get into arguments with people and have them say, "That sucks," or "You are crazy," or "That's cheesy," or "What do you think of this?" A lot of places I go are dangerous, like Tel Aviv or Rio, but that never stops me from going there and putting on a show. I have good security. I don't worry about that. But I love the idea, whether it's in my work or where I live, exploring new frontier, and I like putting myself in strange places and trying to survive and figure things out and gather up an infrastructure. I like knowing that I could figure out a way to live anywhere. I was more of a dancing kid than a singing kid. I mean, I sang in school choirs and I sang in school musicals, but I was much more interested in dancing than singing. I really saw myself as the quintessential Cinderella. I think that's when I really thought about how I wanted to do something else and get away from all that. Be strong, believe in freedom and in God, love yourself, understand your sexuality, have a sense of humor, masturbate, don't judge people by their religion, color or sexual habits, love life and your family. I go to Malawi twice a year. It's where 2 of my children were adopted from, and I have a lot of projects there that I go and check up on in children who I look after. It's sort of a commitment that I've made to this country and the hundreds of thousands of children there who have been orphaned by AIDS. Everybody in our family studied a musical instrument. My father was really big on that. Somehow I only took a year or 2 of piano lessons and I convinced my father to let me take dancing lessons. My father was very strong. I don't agree with a lot of the ways he brought me up. I don't agree with a lot of his values, but he did have a lot of integrity, and if he told us not to do something, he didn't do it either. If any of you have seen my shows, you know that I don't skimp on them, and the same is true for the gym. We spend what it takes to make a globally first-class gym. I have a funny relationship with religion. I'm a big believer in ritualistic behavior as long as it doesn't hurt anybody, but I'm not a big fan of rules. And yet, we cannot live in a world without order. I wear the Jewish star, but I'm not. I haven't converted to Judaism, and I'm not Jewish in the conventional sense, because the Kabbalah is a belief system that predates religion and predates Judaism as an organized religion. I suppose I sometimes used to act like I wasn't a human being. Sometimes I look back at myself and remember things I used to say, or my hairstyle, and I cringe. I always felt like I was a freak when I was growing up and that there was something wrong with me because I couldn't fit in anywhere. Sometimes you want to go for a walk and you don't want to be watched. You just want to be anonymous and blend in. Especially when I travel, I feel that way, because I can't really go out and see a city the way other people can, and I miss out on a lot. On the one hand, the idea of marriage and the sort of traditional family life repulses me. But on the other hand, I long for it, you know what I mean? I'm constantly in conflict with things, and it is because of my past and my upbringing and the journey that I've been on. As an artist myself, I know what it's like to put your heart and soul into something. You can feel the presence of another person. I know I'm not the greatest singer or dancer, but that doesn't interest me. I'm interested in being provocative and pushing people's buttons. I'm encouraging other people, whether they're professionals or not, to use their creativity to express themselves, to get a conversation going, to get the party started, really. When you're 25, it's a little bit easier to be daring, especially if you are a pop star, because eccentric behavior is expected from you. I sometimes think I was born to live up to my name. How can I be anything else but what I am, having been named Madonna? I would either have ended up a nun or this. I hope that I inspire women to believe in themselves, no matter where they come from, no matter what education they have, what particular background they originate from. Being famous has changed a lot, because now there's so many outlets, between magazines, TV shows, and the internet, for people to stalk and follow you. We created the monster. I think in the end, when you're famous, people like to narrow you down to a few personality traits. I think I've just become this ambitious, say whatever's on her mind, intimidating person. And that's part of my personality, but it's certainly not anywhere near the whole thing. There are moments when I can't believe I'm as old as I am, but I feel better physically than I did 10 years ago. I don't think, oh God, I'm missing something. In this business, my business, I get to meet all kinds of incredible people, fascinating people, glamorous people and sexy people and highly intellectual people. And you meet them and you go interesting, they're interesting, but not very many people stop you in your tracks. When I first came to New York, I was a dancer, and a French record label offered me a recording contract and I had to go to Paris to do it. So I went there, and that's how I really got into the music business. But I didn't like what I was doing when I got there, so I left, and I never did a record there. I think the biggest reason I was able to express myself and not be intimidated was by not having a mother. For example, mothers teach you manners. And I absolutely did not learn any of those rules and regulations. I don't like rooms you never use or that are wasted space, but I also like a sparseness and a cleanness.